Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Nick from HotelPlanner, VP of Products there with them. How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking, Nick. And let's jump right into it, right? I'm sure our listeners are wondering what HotelPlanner is all about. So in your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Of course. Yeah, HotelPlanner is a travel technology company specializing in the travel space, mainly hotels. We do a lot of individual reservations, talking from 1 to 9 rooms. And then we're the leader in group travel. That's 10 rooms plus. So we facilitate, both aspects of the spectrum. We do have integrations with car rentals, buses, flights, even one of our newest suite of products, which is a registration software. But most of the meat is within the hotel space.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to hear that. And so that way our listeners could get a good understanding there of HotelPlanner then. What would be that key problem that you guys like to solve? What is the edge that you guys have between the competition out there?
Yeah, so the big thing is we have access to unpublic and enclosed user group rates. So they're going to be highly discounted than as if you were going on the Pricelines and Expedia's Booking.coms of the world. They're heavily discounted. Another big thing that we deployed a couple years ago is kind of a gig-based model. So this allows, folks around the world that want to earn some extra money can apply and be able to field calls, and they make money off of the commission from the sale. And that has been a very big game changer because using dynamic data, we're able to route calls from customers to specific agents within that area that client is traveling to, right? So if you're based out of you're based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, you're going to be fielding calls around that North Carolina, specifically around that Raleigh area. It's good because you obviously know that area, so you're able to provide a little bit more direction on the great hotels and where to go to eat and just fun places to do while you're traveling and while you're staying there, versus somebody that's living in a different state or even a different country trying to sell you on hotels and they don't even know anything around the area. So that's been a very big win in our book. And we've seen a massive conversion of deploying this model compared to the traditional kind of offshore call center that a lot of current OTAs, or what we call online travel companies, have. So it's great because it allows for additional jobs in the marketplace, and you can essentially clock in and clock out at any point of time. Would you think it's like the Uber model, right? You can turn on the app and start driving, and then when you're done driving, you can essentially shut off and do something else. And that's been a very big game changer, and we're going to be continuing to do that.
Awesome. Great to hear that. So then how would somebody usually find out about HotelPlanner? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
We have a couple of different channels. We invest heavily in the ad space. So a lot of the PPC models. We actually power a lot of the travel companies out there in the marketplace. So a lot of times, even if you're booking a rate on X, Y, and Z, it actually might be coming from us. So we do a little bit what I would call like behind the scenes, right? Rates are there, but you're booking on another platform. The other thing is we have a lot of partnerships with big corporate companies. So we do a lot of corporate travel. We do a lot of just general outreach, typical sales process. I like to go to a lot of conventions, get our names out there. A big thing on the sports side, we have a lot of integrations with registration companies, Sports Engine, AES, Got Soccer down in Florida, Exposure Events, and their clients are our clients because these tournament directors, event organizers for their large events, they need to secure hotel availability around the area that they're hosting their event. So it's great because they'll push us essentially those clients that need travel. So we get some free sales and in marketing out of it. So I wouldn't say there's one size fits all. We kind of dabble in the different channels that we find, and we've got various sales folks in our business units that are SMEs within that particular niche, and they just tackle that niche and are trying to seal deals and get new business.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great. And then on that note, then as far as, so that way our listeners can go ahead and visit you guys, they could always check you out at HotelPlanner.com. What role does the website then play for you guys, right? Is it directly just the sales? Do you guys inform? What role does the website play for you guys?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. If you go to HotelPlanner.com, you can start, booking travel right away. There's just a search box where you can kind of put in your destination, dates, and number of rooms. Like I mentioned, if you're doing a 10 plus rooms, it'll take you to the group request form where you'll fill it out and allow you to start sending RFPs to hotels around that area to try to get bids back for your block. You can enroll in our with the gig agent that I was referencing. We've got a lot of just frequently asked questions around travel in general. So we got a lot of just great information. And even on the hotel side, these hotelers have accounts where they can log in, manage their account, manage their property, description, pictures, amenities, respond to the bids for the group request and so forth. So, there's a lot just on that site alone, but we've got links to all of our social media as well as our WordPress. Our CEO, Tim, does a lot of podcasts and he tries to get, just tries to get the Hotel Planner name out there with the goals. We do want to try to go public in a couple of years. So just trying to build that brand out as much as possible to increase our sales. So that way, we can go public with a great market cap and evaluation.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Nick. And well, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you as a leader, you being the VP of products there for Hotel Planner. What are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
So I'm responsible for the tech roadmap, ensuring that, the developers are on target, providing them the resources that they need. So a lot of my day-to-day is managing our task management system that we use, keeping that up to date, just trying to follow through the tech pipeline. I also or meeting up with other essentially key resources within the business to get feedback. Because a lot of our tech tasks are really feedback from customers. Hey, I wish you had this, or hey, what if we improved this, or what if we changed the look and design of X, Y, and Z? So keeping up with all of the ideas. So my job is ensuring that I put the ideas in, knowing what developer it's going to go for, managing the developer's plate of work, right? You don't want a developer just bombarded with a lot of tasks because then they're going to be kind of this and that, and they're not going to stay focused. So my goal is to try to keep them focused and ultimately work on the most impactful tasks in projects, right? What is going to turn the needle? What is going to move the business forward, either from a cost savings, revenue generating, or just take us to the next level so we can have an upper hand on our competition.
Okay, definitely. All right. Perfect. And well, let's jump into our next section then here, Nick, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready.
Perfect. Awesome. So then first off, Nick, what is the last book that you read?
I read The Lean Startup. That was a really good book. Actually, it was about a year ago when I read it. Really good takeaways from it. I highly suggest everybody grab a copy of it and read it yourself, especially the entrepreneurs. I think you learn a lot about just the startup realm and how to do it in a lean fashion. I think a lot of times people don't think about things that, and I don't want to spoil it. So, but they don't think a lot, and it was a good takeaways, and some of those we already do within Hotel Planner, but some of them were relatively new, and I'm utilizing some of those best practices for the company.
Definitely. All right. Great read there for our listeners. Next up then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
I would say right now, which is a pretty big talking point, is just the whole concept around AI. Everybody's talking about it, but it's not that easy to implement. Some say it is, but really, you really need to know what you're doing for it to work. And I kind of wish, sometimes it was a little bit easier to just kind of implement AI into your business. But I know it's going to be a growing thing, and soon there's going to be AI tools that allow you to implement AI into your business faster. But I know that's kind of a big roadblock, is just getting more familiarities and kind of keeping up with the growing trend in that space.
Okay, great there for some great insights. And if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, then Nick, what would that be?
I think the big thing right now, and I'm working towards it, is I send weekly tech updates to our general team and our leadership team on what the developers work on. And our current management tool doesn't have really a great job of doing that. You have to finagle with it and provide a little bit more inputs. But, I do wish it was easier to essentially grab what developers were working on that particular week, able to summarize it up into a few bullets and then send it out the door, right? But then again, I would say, as great as that is, the one value that I do have of it taking some time is it allows me to essentially reflect on the week, get a little bit more in depth of what the devs are doing, right? Because a lot of those, I'm not a full stack developer by all means, but I have learned my way around code, and just my time being within that space, understanding the different tech stacks and languages, I'm pretty good at reading it. So it does allow me to get a little bit more technical experience in some of the fine details as I'm reading into what the devs are actually doing. What are the hiccups that they're running into? What was the actual root cause? Not at a high level, but actually give me the details of it. And it just makes me more ingrained on what they do on the day-to-day, what they have to deal with, and increases my skill set at the end of the day. So yes, it would be nice if I can automate it, but I do like that reflection because I think it puts me in a better spot.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, I mean, you have a lot of experience already in the marketing world, Nick, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
Yeah, one thing that I think the listeners should know is prior to Hotel Planner, myself and one of my good buddies, Ben Canosby, out of college, we started up a travel technology company called Lucid Travel, and our niche was in the sports space. So tournament directors, event organizers running basketball, soccer, volleyball, golf, you name it, lacrosse events. That was our niche. We didn't want to go broad. I'm not saying you couldn't book for a family vacation within the platform, but we really wanted to niche down versus trying to be abroad. And, when we were thinking of sales and marketing early on, our first intuition is like, man, we should just do the cold calling and try to hit them with a sales pitch right away, right? In hopes that stick. And we realized that doesn't work out anymore. I think maybe that worked back in the day. And I would say maybe some businesses that kind of works well, or, if you're a very good salesperson or marketer, I think you can kind of get across without getting too salesy. But what actually worked for us was more market research and surveying. So early on, one of our first clientele was in the university space, because a lot of the club sports and athletic department, they would travel to other games and play different universities. So they needed hotel accommodations. Well, what we started doing is we grabbed a list of 100 universities and put together a simple 10-question survey just around travel. How do you manage your travel? How do you manage your receipts? Are you using specific booking sites? and some finer details. You know, what are some pros? What are some cons on the current way you're doing it? And we're like, hey, can you please fill out this quick survey? And at the end of the day, we'll compile you the data and give you the results. That was it, right? And we learned a lot from that. And then from that, a lot of those were actually just generally interested on what Lucid Travel had to offer. We didn't even market, we weren't even trying to sell the company at that point in time. We were just trying to get data on, do we have any validity on trying to tackle colleges and universities? Can we get our foot in the door? So that actually became a big win, is before you even start selling, get data on your market, right? Figure out what a problem is and then find a solution to try to solve for it, right? The big thing Ben and I did early on is we spent 50% of our time on product and 50% of our time on sales, right? Which are both equally as important. If you try to sell a bad product, you're not going to go well. If you have a really great product, but you're not selling it, you're also not going to go anywhere. So you kind of need both at the same time. And it became a win-win because customers started providing additional feedback, which we fed into improving the product, which worked because then we can get more customers that had that same thing that they needed solved. And we got that solved because an existing customer wanted that in the first place. So we were able to essentially pile on customers because of existing customers and then using our current customer base as referrals, right? Get one university, hey, do you have any friends at other universities that you think would find value in Lucid Travel? Yeah, go ahead and talk to so-and-so. I already told you about you guys. So there's a warm lead right there. So I think before you just start picking up the phone and trying to sell, understand your product and then understand your clientele and the niche that you're trying to go into and what problems are you trying to solve.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us and for our audience. Do appreciate that. And well, look, Nick, it has been a pleasure to have you on with us today. And well, for our listeners, you could always check them out at HotelTravel.com. And Nick, thank you so much for being on with us today. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at PathMonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks, everybody.